a descendant of House Hrestelk would dare betray the Holy Church.
So, it is my teacher who stands in my way. I always knew it would come to this.
Professor, kill Edelgard at once. She is a danger to all of Fodlan. Such a rebellious heart cannot be allowed to keep beating.
I will withdraw for now. Come, Hubert.
To flee is futile, wicked girl. The Church of Seiros will raise its entire army against you until you have been captured and punished. You have defiled the holy tomb, dishonored the goddess, and humiliated your brethren. That crime will never be erased. Even if you burn in the eternal flames and spill all of your blood into the goddess's soil. Come, Professor. Let us return and decide upon our next course of action.
Edelgard and Hubert have disappeared. They will surely return to the Empire. The Knights have been dispatched to search and investigate. If there is any movement, we will know. We cannot ignore the possibility that there will soon be open hostilities between us and the Imperial Army. When that happens, are you prepared to fight your own? If you wish to return to the Empire, I will not stop you. That is your choice.
If Edelgard is acting afoul, then we have no choice but to strike her down.
It's up to us to stop them. We have a war on our hands.
I have no interest in fighting, not even for her.
How are we supposed to decide just like that? Hubie, I'm sorry about this, but I'm siding with the professor. Her doings are wrong. It is our duty to make everything right.
I am sure you all have much on your mind. I encourage you to confer with your professor and make a decision. You have until the fighting commences. Professor, I am depending on your strength for the safety of Fodlan.
The leaders of the church have misused its creed to fulfill their true desire, to rule the world. They have fooled the people of Fodlan. Long ago, they divided the Empire to create a kingdom, and then divided that kingdom to create an alliance. They did all of this to make the masses bicker amongst themselves. They caused instability in order to reinforce their own authority. They gathered gold and lived in extravagance. How? By preying on the devotion of those who wished for the goddess's salvation. Those corrupt hypocrites cannot lead Fodlan to true peace. Their foul belief system must be torn asunder so that true wisdom may finally prevail. And so, I have decided. By order of the Adrestian Emperor, Edelgard von Hrestelk, the Empire hereby declares war on the Church of Seiros.
Cannot believe it. Let us recount the situation as it stands, Professor, after you returned from the Holy Tomb. The Adrestian Empire declared war upon the Church of Seiros, as well as our allies. Edelgard demanded her own father relinquish the throne, and then assumed the position of Emperor. She has deemed the Church of Seiros to be an evil of this world, and is calling upon the people of Fodlan to help her tear it down. I must discuss our response to this declaration with the Archbishop, after the Knights return from their investigation. Until then, watch over the students. See that they remain calm.
Part 1. White Clouds. Lone Moon. To War. Together, the people of Fodlan relish the beauty of the brilliant moon overhead as another year ends. They recall sad partings and new acquaintances alike, but each person must still walk their chosen path alone. With each day, the presence of spring grows stronger, and yet a lone moon still haunts the sky. A silent reminder, perhaps, of some inescapable truth.
Unforgivable! I cannot fathom that the Adrestian Empire would embark on such a violent course of action.
The fault is my own. I failed to see the wickedness within Edelgard's heart. There is no question on that front. She clearly wishes to conquer all of Fodlan. And in order to achieve her own selfish ambitions, she plotted with ill-meaning strangers and defiled the Holy Tomb. Or perhaps her ambitions are even grander than we know. Perhaps she is planning to make herself a false deity by demonizing the Church of Seiros.
Adrestia received its very name through a divine oracle. To injure the goddess is a sin most foul that shall not be forgiven nor forgotten. We must stop the Empire, and quickly.
I have returned, Rhea.
Welcome back, Shamir. Were you able to discern the Empire's movements?
Their main troops are marching towards Garreg Mach. It is said that they will join forces with Edelgard's army and arrive within 2 weeks.
2 weeks? That is not enough time. It will require all of our efforts just to prepare our defenses before then. We must send notice to all surrounding villages at once. We must order the residents of Garreg Mach to flee for their lives.
It will be done.
Professor, listen closely. If our enemy invades the monastery, I will have no choice but to stand upon the battlefield. If something happens to me, I am entrusting my sacred duties to you. You must have guessed it by now. The truth of who you are. Or perhaps I should say, your lost memories are surely beginning to return. I have acted all these long years as a mere proxy for you. But the duty is yours, and yours alone. Only you can lead the people of Fodlan.
Rhea, please. You must tell me all that you know. I beg of you. That one is the progenitor god. Am I correct?
In a sense. Our dear professor is a vessel. One who carries the power of the progenitor god within. In time, the vessel will become one with the power contained within, and the progenitor god shall return to this world.
I see. I trust that you are aware of the questionable nature of this experiment.
I ask that you help our friend, and in doing so, help her. I am waiting and hoping for the moment when our Creator rules this wayward land once more.
I understand. As ever, I will take you at your word.
Lady Rhea, brother, I will do my part as well.
Flame, were you eavesdropping? Regardless, I am glad to hear it. You owe your life to the Professor, after all. And in the end, they may prove to be our brethren.
You have my gratitude, Seth, and you as well, Flame. As followers of the Progenitor God, it is up to us to see our mission through.
That girl's starting an all-out war, isn't she? But an enemy is an enemy, no matter who they are. Don't...
I don't normally have a problem jumping into a fight, but it feels strange going up against my father. We aren't especially close, but he's not an opponent I'd want to face. I'd almost rather fight a monster. I hope he's not part of the group coming to attack Garrett Mach.
If I could go back to last month and throttle my carefree self. Now it turns out Edelgard is the Flame Emperor and the new Adrestian Emperor. And she's striking out against the monastery, with the full force of the Imperial Army behind her. We gotta beat her at her own game, for our sake as well as Lady Rhea's.
Okay. I thought we'd all be really busy with assignments and getting ready for graduation. Now that things have turned out like this, I guess there's nothing to do but fight.
I have had the arrival of a letter from Edelgard. She is asking that I join her side. She is making the decision. No, she is deciding if Bridget is a friend or an enemy of the Empire. But my choice is not to be friends. My choice is to fight with you. Bridget is not a friend of the Empire. We will not be following again. We will be ready to fight with you instead.
His Highness calls for the head of Edelgard. For me, that is cause enough to fight. Perhaps, but it is too late to stop him now. And if Edelgard was responsible in any way for the tragedy of Duscar, that is something I cannot ignore. If that is the case, then she is my enemy.
Edelgard, right? Good luck. Me? Oh, I'm going to run away. I have zero interest in dying here, thank you very much. Professor, but if you'll battle me?
Things must be pretty crazy in Fargus about now. My father must be beside himself. I don't get it. Why did Edelgard make enemies with the nobles? Ideals she believed in so much, she was willing to start a war over them? Those must be some lofty ideals, to say the least.
Is that so?
Once the Imperial army reaches the monastery, we'll have no choice but to fight.
What's going to happen to us? I believe you. With the knights on our side, and especially with you, Professor, I know we can do this. Huh? I'm really
Once the... Huh?
The Empire's aggression cannot stand. But if we are going to attack them now, we must be honest with ourselves about our chances of success. It goes without saying that I will fight the Imperial army with everything I have for as long as I am able. But House Gloucester's territory is adjacent to Imperial lands. Let us proceed with caution.
Professor, what actually happened last month? I can't keep up at all. Edelgard is the Emperor, and she's declared war against the Church? So now we're at war? What is going on? I really don't understand any of this. What should I do?
Dear me. Edelgard became Emperor and raised an army, huh? Who knew the kid had it in her? I mean, yeah, of course, I knew she'd be Emperor eventually, but the more I think about it, the more surprised I am. I wonder who's gonna win. Thinking about it.
What the?
Hello.
Those who serve the Church must cast aside all selfish desires, but is it right to wield piety as a weapon? I have never considered such things before. The Church, I have always done what I thought best to save the people of Fodlan.
That's so.
The Empire is moving quickly. Edelgard must have been preparing for this for a while now. If you really think about it, she must have been planning for this even before you got the Sword of the Creator. Of course she was always a step ahead of us. We were blinded by the ball and the battle of the eagle and lion and everything else.
Okay. What is Edelgard even trying to achieve? She wants to destroy the Church so badly that she'll take on anyone who doesn't fall in line? I don't get it. I just can't believe she'd start a war over. Could Captain Gerald's death have also been a part of her plan? Don't you go and die on me, Professor. Captain Gerald would never forgive you. Hey, I know I'm an idiot. Ugh.
The most important nobles in the Empire are known for taking power from the previous emperor, my father included. I didn't think it possible that the Imperial Princess could ascend the throne so easily. However, it seems that both my father and Caspar's are supporting Edelgard. Having both the Minister of Domestic Affairs and Minister of Military Affairs on your side gives you total control over the Empire's military and finances. I must have been making preparations for quite some time without anyone noticing.
I hear the Alliance's territory will be in danger if we don't get rid of these Empire guys. If the Alliance is in danger, that means my sister's in danger too. There's no way I'm gonna allow that. It doesn't matter how many guys they throw at us. I'll beat them all. But first, I gotta get some food. I was just...
Ah, meals always taste best when it is a company of 3 or more at the table.
Do you not enjoy eating when it's just the two of us? You wound me, Flame.
This is so good. Can I have seconds?
Oh, my favorite food. You've got to try this.
I like seeing a table full of my favorite dishes.
This is my most favorite dish of all. I love it almost as much as Crestology itself.
That the Flame Emperor was Edelgard all along. Flame's abduction? Gerald's murder? The turmoil in Ramire Village? Whether or not she was the mastermind behind what happened, it at least seems like she was involved. And yet she was able to remain so composed while she was enrolled at the Officers Academy. Hi, I've actually...
What does war with Edelgard mean for us, Professor? And why does she even want that? I wonder if that's how to...
What the? Professor. Hello, Professor. You're really on the move today. A lot to get done, I take it? I'm happy to help. Tell me, is there anything I can do to lighten your load a bit? Now, surely there must be something. Don't be shy about asking for help. We're practically siblings, after all. Cut from the same cloth. I was raised by Gerald just as you were, so we should have no trouble getting along. Did I not mention that? How thoughtless. What an embarrassing gaffe. My parents died when I was small, and I came to live in the monastery. It was an aimless existence. But sometimes a knight would pass by, wearing magnificent armor. That knight was Gerald. And the first time he laid eyes on me, he made me his squire. What was he thinking, huh? No kidding. I don't think I'll ever fully understand his logic. Later, I heard that the squire preceding me had died of a terrible plague. I looked a bit like him and was about the same age, so Gerald thought me a suitable replacement. A little nutty old Gerald, there's no doubt about that. Quite a character. All that was more than 30 years ago. How time flies. Actually, I'm not entirely sure. You never asked him? Well, Gerald hardly seemed to age at all. In fact, over drinks he once told me, perhaps that's a story for another day. At any rate, that's Gerald for you. One of a kind. Right. I hope that if you're ever... Indeed, but true.
Professor, I'm glad that I came to the Officers Academy. I feel accepted here. I've learned so much. Honestly, I'm surprised at how much I've grown. So, I will not let the Academy be destroyed. It's important to me, and I will protect it. I feel brave, and we're gonna win this, Professor. I'd also like to talk to you about my future. And really? Oh, thank you. I'll study and train as hard as I can.
Pardon me.
Greetings, Professor. Something to report. Apparently, this is the first time Garrett Mach has been invaded in its whole 995-year history. It's my job to protect this gate. So even if enemies come in droves, I will never let them through. I hope we both survive. Let's battle with all our might and pray.
I have some experience with cooking. I'm sure I can aid you in the kitchen. Let's make it a sip. How the meal tastes affects the morale of the troops.
This food is a revelation. I can't help but smile when I eat it.
Oh, this takes me back. I used to love this when I was a child.
Half of the Empire's 6 great noble families have declared their support for Edelgard. Of the other 3, Lord Vester was assassinated. Hubert, his son, will succeed him. Bernadetta's father, Count Varley, is under house arrest. His wife is now supporting Edelgard. And my father, he was stripped of his role as Prime Minister. As a result, House Eyre has lost all of its power, all of its lands. We have lost everything. What do I do?
Mana, controller batteries are low. Please. Hey! Wait a second. Where's your controller? Here it is. Here's your controller.
Put it down.
But I want to see if it looks.
Put it back.
Bye.
Throw this away.
Do we?
There's batteries up there. Get me too.
This is so dark.
Me over here.
There? These are new. It's a battery. Pug plays mine.
Here, take this.
Take Juvia?
Take the light off first. No, not like that.
Come on, my other hand has the controller.
Put the controller down. And come back, get it. But first, get you to the living room.
First, Juvia. Juvia. And then my controller.
Did you drop her?
No. No.
Alright, go to the door.
This boat.
Always. I didn't actually feel as though, Professor.
We're falling to think however hard we fight. I give us a 50% chance of winning. The enemy has too many advantages. We must move.
It's my job to protect Lady Rhea. I've got to do it, and I got to do it as best I can. If that... how could Edelgard treat Lady Rhea like she's the bad guy? She's never been anything but nice to everybody. Thanks, Professor.
Welcome back.
This is for me? Thanks, Professor.
Yeah. I know.
Hey! Right.
I'll have that girl's head. Just you wait.
Professor, can we really defeat someone who is willing to turn their back on the world just to uphold their own beliefs? I've spent my whole life running in fear, and now surely we... Oh, excuse me.
Professor, war is breaking out again, is it not? An honorable notion. Do you think there is something to be done? Whatever shall we do? I never wanted another war. All we can do is steel ourselves for the fight ahead. I guess we have no choice but to fight, have we? Oh, but why would Edelgard do something like this? I'm sure we'll be all right, though, Professor. The goddess will keep us safe. Oh, I'm already...
Hello there. Dear, there is no need to worry.
Professor. Ah, Professor. Always a pleasure to see you. I wonder, might you have a moment to chat? Come now. You have no need to be on guard. I'd never cause you harm. You're far too valuable a specimen, well, that is to say, too valuable a member of the Academy staff. Indeed, the further my crest research progresses, the closer you come to learning the truth of your heritage. Is it not so? When I learned you bore the lost crest, the very crest of flames itself, I set about learning everything I could about your past. What was the origin of your bloodline? How have the events of your life been shaped by your lineage? I became somewhat obsessed, I must admit. Nothing so crass as an investigation. No, I researched. Of course, I also contacted your father's old mercenary crew. It was difficult work, since I could not speak with Gerald himself. I am quite sorry for your loss. By all accounts, your father was a good man. I'm excited to share with you what I learned, but I do ask that you correct me if I am mistaken on any account. The story begins with Gerald serving as captain of the Knights of Seiros. There was a woman at the monastery with whom Gerald was quite close. At first, it seemed obvious this mystery woman was your mother. Alas, that cannot be the case. The timing is all wrong. As it was told to me, the woman in question passed away shortly before Gerald left the monastery. Yet your birth occurred sometime later.
while Gerald was taking work as a mercenary. This, of course, presumes your age is accurately reported. If you were born sooner, well, the story would be quite different, would it not? Oh, I am aware. You two were certainly enigmatic, as far as mercenaries go. For example, Gerald never once spoke of his time serving as captain of the Knights. That's quite a secret to keep for all those years. In the end, your old acquaintances had little definitive to say about either of you. However, they all agreed on one thing. Your father and yourself were a strong pair, warriors to be respected and feared. You in particular. In fact, many came to know you as the Ashen Demon. They say you would destroy your enemies without a hint of emotion on your face. The mercenaries I spoke to revered you as a living legend of sorts. So, that is what I learned. And I admit, it is barely more than I knew before. The next step in my research is to ask your blood for answers, and hope that it is more forthcoming than your past acquaintances.
So Edelgard, the one who calls herself the Flame Emperor, was connected to those strange beings. The Imperial Army might be using even more terrifying methods than we know. We had better be cautious, Professor. Any amount of carelessness might prove to be our undoing. Yes, I'm actually very...
Right, the mastermind behind the attacks on the monastery was Edelgard? Wow. Doesn't make much sense though, does it? There would need to be all sorts of territories and groups tangled up in this sort of mess. I'm gonna stop. I don't really have the head for this political stuff. Mostly I'm worried about my old opera company. I wonder what's happening in the capital right now.
Greetings. The Holy Tomb held many crest stones. This is the first time I've heard of crest stones being hidden away in such a place. But more importantly, I'm interested to know the Empire's aim. Why would their army desire crest stones? There is power there, yes. And yet, I must think on this. The crest stones lie at the heart of the events surrounding Conan Tower and the chapel as well. And of course, the crest stones somehow transform those traitors and their captives into demonic beasts. Could that possibly be their aim? The Empire's army may well plan to use crest stones to create demonic beasts.
We must protect Garrett Mock. Defiling the Holy Tomb was a sacrilege. I will not allow such a thing to happen again. The Archbishop has already given you a new responsibility. I want you to rise to that honor. I have something to ask of you.
was somehow connected to the captain's murderer. Well, perhaps it's pointless to get upset about the past. We're depending on your strength, Professor. Crush our enemies. Captain? Oh, Professor. I will do whatever I can to serve you. Excellent. No matter how...
Excuse me. How are you, Professor? Any new changes to report? With the Imperial Army drawing near, it is most vexing that we cannot relax and converse as we once did. Thankfully, you have the divine protection of the goddess on your side. Please try to listen carefully for her voice. May the goddess's voice...
¿Qué?
Practice yield...
You're back. I'm back. I'm just back.
How are you?
No.
I appreciate this. Oh, I adore you.
Oh, Ace, one day you realize that I just don't want to play.
I appreciate. I appreciate. I appreciate. I appreciate.
Again? Somebody's having a lot of fun out there today, these days. Yeah, the moment you guys go to the clubs, he said boys, but okay. So Fat Albert is one of them?
Now it's her and she's cut up. I'll take it. Thanks. I'll take it. I'll take it. Thanks. I'll take it.
Oh my god, this controller is pissing me off. Because he doesn't like her.
Now it can't be cut a beater at her own game. For our sake.
You didn't go neither.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it.
What are you doing right now, Banku? You have a good game to play and you're doing challenges, so...
Professor. I wonder why.
There's like 4 endings!
Why does Lady Rhea give you special treatment? You're not particularly strong or good looking.
I really did though. I got it on Saturday and I beat it on Saturday.
Not that I doubt you were a skilled mercenary.
I'm not back on Xbox though.
Shamir came from the same background, but she doesn't get nearly as much of Lady Rhea's attention. Besides, it'd be one thing if you got brought on as a knight, but a professorship, unprecedented. I just don't get it. I'm flummoxed as to why she holds you in such high esteem. And it's not like just anyone can wield the Sword of the Creator. It's a legendary relic, right? And it was casually handed over to you. Maybe it's because you're related to Gerald. He was a leader of the Knights of Seiros, and probably the finest mercenary in all Fodlan. I only had a brief chance to work with him, but I've heard stories. He was quite strong, right? Oh, come on. There can't be a soul in Fodlan who hasn't heard tales of the Bladebreaker. Maybe that's it. Gerald used his influence to help you. But Lady Rhea wouldn't give you favorable treatment because of that. No, definitely not. There must be something more to you. Okay, that settles it. I'm going to watch from afar. Figure out what Lady Rhea could possibly see in you. Whatever it is, maybe I can copy it so that you'll take a shine to me as well. And if I discover that your intentions are malicious, I'll cut you down with relish.
Wait. Panko? Panko. I only came on Xbox to help you.
Soldiers discovered they couldn't be better.
If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have even got on. I wouldn't have come on Xbox for the next 4 weeks if it wasn't for trying to help Panko.
Well done. You have my thanks.
You never said that. You never said that. I wasn't here yesterday. His.
I got a question. You're probably...
Professor.
Thank you.
We will
take no... Amazing. Seems simple enough.
hope this is good for some one step before the next step.
I got it.
Aha!
I still have much to learn.
I've really gotten the hang of it.
I've learned a thing or two from battle.
This isn't so hard.
Listen up, everyone. The Imperial Army is upon us. If you can fight, pick up a weapon. Everyone else, hurry up and evacuate. We have the goddess's protection on our side. We have nothing to fear.
Professor, are you ready? tell you that the situation is dire. We have some support troops from the local nobles, but the army we're facing is immense. No matter how you look at it, we're at a disadvantage. To make matters worse, the enemy is being led by Edelgard. You know well how extraordinary she is.
Of course we know, but we can't let her get away. Also, please cease your unwarranted glaring. We don't deserve your judgment. My father was removed from his role as Prime Minister, and is still under house arrest in the Imperial capital. As his successor, it is my duty to stop her.
The way she's going about all of this is wrong. It's up to us to help her realize that.
We won't be following her, but I won't run away either. Lady's going to come at us with all she's got, and that's a lot. That means we need to fight her with all of our might too.
She is one who has strength. That has certainty.
But I shall fight with all that I have. It is an honor to fight alongside each of you.
You students really have guts, don't you? No, I suppose I can't call you students anymore. You're now part of our order. You have our support and our gratitude. Professor, I'm counting on you. Go ahead and take the lead. These kids, they look up to you. I guess that goes without saying. Just look in their eyes and you can see it. If we all make it through this, let's meet again. Good luck out.
I have a report. The enemy is within the walls. They're about to break the defensive line.
Knights, soldiers, students, defend the front line and the Archbishop with your lives until help arrives. Reinforcements are on the way. Hold fast.
Stay focused.
I am Ferdinand von Eyre. This was beneath me.
try again.
To work. Another one down.
Ready and aim.
Battle. Put me in there.
I'll crush them all.
That's my cue.
You are nothing. Great.
That is that. Should I have held back?
Let's think carefully.
Report. That won't do. The strongholds to the east and west are our rally points for reinforcements. Retake them at once. Only a fool challenges me.
I will not be stopping.
Take me all you want. Are we done?
I am impressed. Back to the fray.
try.
Each battle, a chance to grow.
This fight is but a sideshow to the ravishing of the sacred place that is Garrick Mark.
Nothing personal.
The time.
I'll go.
All right, that's one stronghold recaptured. Now the other.
Pretty good.
Just let me out.
You should be honored.
I have no choice but to distinguish myself in this fight.
Right makes might, right?
You fought well.
finished. I'm loath to say it, but I must retreat.
I wish you were someone whose heart could be swayed by my words and deeds. If it were so, I would have done anything to make you my ally. My life was changed forever. Lady.
Such a shame. There are people in the Empire you truly care about too, aren't there? I wonder what will become of them. What?
Let the lesson begin! As expected.
Only a fool challenges me.
You fought well, but now your fight is over. Send in our reserve troops and give my uncle the signal.